You're joking, right?
Well, I'm trying to be hopeful. I'm trying to be optimistic about that.
Well, I guess you're too young to be a little pessimistic like me. The fucking things I see out there, people are stupid.
Hey, Bron. Good to have you back up. Mine's a little low, yeah?
Yeah, mine too.
Why is
How's
that?
that? Is that better?
Yeah, I guess. I guess because we were laughing so hard last time.
I did lower them a lot. The Patreon, we were laughing.
Did you watch it? Was it funny?
I haven't watched it.
I like to see it.
I just
I'm
posted
not a
it.
Patreon member.
I haven't had the time to. You're not a Patreon member?
No.
Well, I guess
I think
technically
we
I'm
are
not either.
Mom, yeah, I think we are.
Probably.
So, no, Thanksgiving is officially over.
We didn't even talk about Thanksgiving on the. Oh wait, did we do the Thanksgiving episode on Thanksgiving or was it the
We
day
did it
after?
the morning of. I mean, the afternoon.
Oh, that's right, because we released it.
Oh, we got to
We
talk
released it
about Bubby.
Thanksgiving evening. I released it like right before people came over.
Correct.
So I guess we can talk about Thanksgiving. I mean, we don't have to talk about
That's
Bubby.
no big deal.
But we can talk about Thanksgiving, I guess.
What do you want to talk about?
Nothing really
Did you
to
have a
talk
good
about.
Thanksgiving?
Yeah. Nice or smaller.
I think next year I'm going to just
5
take
years ago, we used to have like
50.
45 people.
It's too much.
This year it was like 20, and it's like,
Bryce did a
a
great
lot
job
better.
cooking. He did do a good job cooking.
yeah, definitely.
But I think, honestly, I think next year we're just going to go to the club. It's easier. It's first of all cheaper.
No, you have to do it at home. You have to do it at a house. But you don't have to make it extravagant. It has to be at someone's house.
You
It's
know,
not
Mom.
Thanksgiving if you do it at a
You know how much
restaurant.
fucking food? You know, Mom doesn't do anything basic.
Bryce didn't go too extravagant.
Mom did. No, okay.
Mom didn't cook anything.
But extravagant.
Bryce
is
cooked
wrong.
it all.
The amount. It's expensive. I mean, I don't know what it costs because she never lets me see it. But it is. It's
Something
a lot.
about Thanksgiving has to be at a home.
It's a lot of prep, though, isn't it?
You can go to someone else's home. You know,
Maybe
like
next year will be at your house,
at my house. I don't know.
at your place. You'll be married at this point next year. That's unbelievable. It's 6 months from now.
My wedding, yeah. Save the dates have gone out.
So we're going.
Maybe I shouldn't say that because then some people listening are going to be like, I'm expecting mine, and they never get it.
Oh,
But it is what it is. Sorry if you don't get it and you were expecting it.
it's no problem. We can't. You're limited in the amount of people you can invite anyway.
Right.
So that's
Can't
a
invite
problem.
everyone.
I just
don't
got
really
Sotos.
have A lot of
I just got
friends.
Sotos.
Yeah, same. Him and I have been texting
Are
for
you
a while.
going to it?
Probably.
You have to see with school.
Right.
Right.
They're planning it over there because they're both in law school, so they're planning it over their law school break. Hopefully it coincides with mine. If it
All right,
doesn't,
we'll talk about it
then it doesn't.
Because
Yeah.
we got to figure a place. I'm going to go a couple of days early.
Okay. I can't talk. I can't like book that trip. now.
I'm not
I
asking. I'm saying for Mom and I.
Mom was asking me today. I'm in like the 11th. I have an exam tomorrow. When this comes out, by the way, this probably will have come out a couple hours late because I don't think I'm going to be able to get it edited, copied and edited tonight before tomorrow morning.
Makes
So it might
sense.
come out at like 1 p.m. instead of 9 a.m. So if you're
Big
listening,
deal.
it's all right. But it's because I had an exam that morning. So I was studying for it this morning. I'm in like the 11th hour. I'm like just drilling practice problems. And Mom is like, okay, I'm booking flights for your wedding. Here are the dates. And I was like, no. I cannot do this right
she's
now.
got this morning. She
Texted me. I said, not only can I not talk about this right now because I'm studying, but I'm also in no position to. She said, will you be going out a few days early? It's like, Mom, that's 6 months away. That's going to be in my exam season next semester. I'm in my.
No, you got a lot to do.
I was just like, what are you, like that timing? I was like, oh my God.
No, you have a lot.
But she was like, okay, yes, I'll book mine and Dad's tickets. And I'm like, even that. And then she's sending me.
She booked mine. It's fine.
Yeah. But,
No, but
it's just so far out. But I guess you're going. So.
Well, we'll take care of yours when you're ready. It's no big deal.
Yeah. It was just like a matter of like not the time.
Listen, I understand what law school I went through. I'm trying not to bother you. And then I know you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, no, it's been fine. Now, like, the last couple of days was studying, doing well. I felt like I had a really good sense of everything. I was doing some practice problems, but like,
Is there a but?
yeah, but not in a bad way. It's just like this, I think, is natural. There's always, I think, happened. I was doing practice problems, doing really well, doing all this stuff. And then today, I was like, okay, I'm going to sit down and do a full test, like 50 practice problems, just knock them all out. And I was like second guessing myself. And I think it's just because I'm
You're getting
too
insight.
into it.
Yeah.
I'm
Sometimes
too
you
into
need
it.
to take
That's
a
why
break.
that's why I called you and I was like, I'm taking the night
I
off.
fucking love that you called me and said you're coming up.
Because
It's great.
all for the last 3 days, really, all I've been doing is just like thinking about that.
So better at
so I
home.
was like in my head.
Better at
about it.
home to study.
Oh my
Much
God.
more efficient.
Oh my God. Like literally 5 times more efficient.
Yeah, more productive.
But you know how you get like you focus on something so much, and then you're like, I have to take a step back. Even like I bet when you're reading, like I don't know when it would apply.
No, there's
to
a point you just stop. But you know, when you study for the bar exam, you never study the day before. You don't.
Yeah, because you're just so.
There were people I remember. I think I told you like studying.
I was making stupid
the
mistakes.
break when you're on a break in between, or they're studying the night before. You just fucking go out. It's like a marathon. You don't run the day before the marathon. You take that day off.
Right, and it's not like, oh, if you're studying in between the break, you're not going to retain.
You're not learning anything new.
No.
No, you either know it or you don't know. Listen, you're gonna be fine. I'm not worried about it.
Yeah. But then I was like, oh fuck them. These things are bothering me. Now it's gonna be in my. I'm gonna be in my head about it.
Do not
but
do
no,
that.
No, I'm
do not do that.
I know.
You'll be fine.
It'll be fine
And you come to dinner with us
after this. Yeah,
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. But then also another thing is like because I've been so focused on the exams, I've been like completely offline for like a week.
Who are you online
Which has
with
been-
besides Hannah?
No. That's not what I mean by online. I mean like follow, like up to date on things.
Oh,
Usually I'm on Twitter and just looking at the news and just the internet for like, you know, at least
Content.
a total of, no, but just like also because I enjoy doing that, like at least a total of an hour a day. You know, 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there, 20 minutes there, but it's a good amount. But because I'm studying, it's like I'm not really on my phone, which is actually nice. Like it's nice not to be like, oh, I have no idea what's going on in the world. But then also we sit down here and I'm like, I don't know what's going on in the world. But I don't think there's too much going on in the world.
no, not that I'm aware of.
Apparently, like Trump had a big Thanksgiving dinner at Mar-a-Lago, which looks sick. Trudeau flew in and went to the Thanksgiving dinner.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Which is like, he has been very anti.
They're all ass kissing now.
Yeah.
January 20th will be interesting.
The next 4 years will be interesting.
It won't be. I think it'll be a lot better. It won't be worse.
I don't see how it can be worse unless we go into a war. Like, unless we're actually in a war.
I think we'll be fine.
And then
I
it'll
don't
be
think
worse.
anyone's going to war with us.
It's not anyone going into war with us. It's other people doing things that then we have no choice but to declare war. If Russia nukes somewhere inside of Ukraine, we have no choice. We will go to war. Or if Russia sends a missile into Poland because Poland's NATO, it's like we now are obligated. We will be in a full-on war. So it's not like someone's going to bomb anywhere in America, but
Who knows? We'll have to see.
we've gone to war many times in the past.
I think it's going to be hopefully a good, strong 4 years.
I hope so. At least we have,
Good team in place.
yeah, especially because like it does feel like we really are on the precipice.
And he's
of a war.
moving. He's not even in office and he's already getting shit done.
It seems like it.
He's on it.
A lot of things are happening.
And the fact he's already been president in the past, and he now knows the ropes. It's a little bit different. He's not coming in blind.
Right.
And he's coming in stronger. And he's coming with a lot more support.
And a better team.
Better team.
When he went on Rogan, did you listen to that?
I listened to about 90% of it.
He was saying like one of the biggest issues the first time is that he just didn't know what he was doing.
He's right.
He was like, I had to make 1,000 appointments.
No, he
and
didn't
I didn't
know.
know anyone's name. So I just relied on a few people around me, and they
he
turned
said
out to be bad.
He said I relied on some bad people, correct.
But now it's like the people he's relying on are good-ass
Are
people.
solid
He's like
people.
really set himself up for success.
Tim Scott is not involved with him in anything.
I don't know.
He was a big supporter. And Tim
Scott's
and
a
him got-
loser.
Why do you say that?
Because he got married to a white woman just to get elected.
Get the fuck out. Is that true?
Yeah, he like didn't have a girlfriend, didn't have anything. And then he was running for president, and apparently like
Never gonna win.
People around him were like, you need to have a wife. You'll never be elected if you don't have a wife. And she shouldn't be black because you're black.
That's terrible.
And so he's now like technically married to this woman who like they didn't have any relationship before he like kind of became a presidential, or he was running. Right, like as soon as he started running, all of a sudden now he like has a girlfriend. Then they got married. So it's like that's
still
to
with
me.
her?
I'm like that's lame. Yeah, I think he is. Let's see, Tim Scott.
But Trump and he got along well.
Mindy Nose,
Let me say.
a white woman. Wow, he's got a gummy smile. Look how gummy his smile
He does always have a gummy smile. What do you do about that?
You can probably like
Could
get
you
a
bring
lip
it down?
surgery. People do like lip. What's it called? The lip flip or something?
Ugh,
That's a
what is
surgery that girls do. It's instead of getting fillers, you
Don't do
surgically move your lip up so that a little bit of your gum now is underneath, so that your lip looks bigger. But actually, it's just your gums are now exposed. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. That's not normal.
Like
stop.
Like if you get that surgically
stop.
pinned up.
Not normal.
I think that's what it's called.
Not normal.
I think that's what a lip flip is. Lip flip.
I do not show me any photos, please.
No, it's non-surgical. A non-surgical procedure that makes your lips appear fuller.
Please do not show me any
without
photos.
increasing the volume of your lips. Candidates should be in good physical. No, there's no photos. It's just that's everyone who has that top mouth should get the surgery for the bottom mouth.
Wait. The bottom one looks much better.
Much better. Yeah, and so I guess they pull your lip out.
But the bottom's a little too much.
Yeah, but that's much better. Much better than Botox and shit, which is terrible for you.
Wow.
That everyone is doing now. But I'm not going to go there. I guess too many people in my life that I probably know that do that.
Oh, you
that
don't
I
want to
shouldn't
get with
even
the
go there.
backlash. You don't want to get the backlash.
Or just like hurt people that are in my life, I guess.
Listen.
Like I'm sure every
woman
girl that I know
does it. Everyone
does Botox.
Yes, everyone does it.
So I guess there's no point in going there and just offending half of the people in my life, all the women.
It's not
in my
worth
life.
it. Yeah,
I guess not.
Find a good reason to offend them.
Yeah, that is a good reason, because not guaranteed, but this is just a prediction of mine, that like in 50 years from now, there's going to be a whole new host of
issues,
of things that my generation, when we're in our 70s, 80s, 90s, there's going to be a whole new host of things. Like nowadays, the people in their 70s, 80s, 90s, there's a bunch of what does Bubby have? Dementia? Like dementia and Alzheimer's are way higher than they were.
Terrible.
When their grandparents were grandparents. And they say, I forget what it's because, but like there were like multiple specific things that were like, this has caused the rise. And back then they didn't know. So I bet Botox, Ozempic.
There's going to be serious effects.
Oh my God. How could there not be? Just how could there not be?
Botox, what could it really do?
It's literally like.
I know it's botulism poison.
It's literally killing your muscles.
It paralyzes, doesn't kill it.
Oh, that's great.
All right.
Muscles should be paralyzed.
By the way, I don't do it and I don't believe in it. I agree with you. I know it's poison. But again, I'm not a doctor. I'm just trying to think, what could it do? And
there could be reactions.
Ozempic,
you're putting it into your body.
You're right. What about Ozempic and whatever that other one is called? Isn't that for insulin, diabetics or something like that?
Yeah, well, that's what it started as.
Right. So
but people use it now as weight loss. Because it what they're finding now.
It stops you from pooping, they said.
No, that would keep you weight. It inhibits cravings. It wasn't planned for that, right? Like they developed Ozempic,
like penicillin,
for insulin. No, well, penicillin was just a complete accident,
right?
But it was developed for this one specific thing, and then it just so happened that everyone who took it like didn't have that much of an appetite. But now they're finding that it's not just that it's targeting appetite; it's targeting cravings. So they're now using it for alcoholics and drug addicts.
So that's a good thing.
Yeah, it is.
Even people that are
the weight loss is a good thing.
I think it's a good thing. I've seen people that have had, I'm not talking about 20 pounds, but like they're 50, 60, 70 pounds or whatever.
I think it's a good thing for obese people. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, I think it's a good thing for people who have no other option, right? If you're a certain weight, it's almost impossible for you to get it off.
Alcohol thing's an interesting thing.
Because apparently it just stops them from like desiring alcohol. Maybe it doesn't stop it, but it curbs it. So they're starting to use it in alcoholic treatment. But still, to me, it's like the idea
of the future. We don't know, right? It's always going to be
the idea of injecting yourself with something, because it's a
needle.
Yeah. Sorry, my brain isn't working as fast today.
What's the one? There was one called Finfin or Fin. There was a dietary supplement that when I was a kid, that our parents, it was called Finfin. Look it up or something.
Dietary supplement from the 80s?
Yeah, or something. Just call it Finfin, I think. Major, like catastrophic side effects, like lawsuits you have to.
Fenphen. Fenphen. Diet Miracle Rosenfeld. Fenfluramine, phenetramine.
But there were lawsuits.
An anti-obesity medication that's no longer available. Yeah, I mean, so that's the thing.
There was a lot of issues with that thing.
Yeah, and they say, like 5 years ago, not a single person was taking Ozempic They're only for diabetes.
But
now everyone is taking it.
But you see people who, our friends, I'm not going to mention names,
Yeah.
He went on it.
I don't know who you're talking about, but all right, mute it.
Gary.
What? You said it right as I unmuted.
Well, they don't listen anyway.
Okay, but I'll have to.
But my point is, then why didn't we just, right, we didn't have to go through that whole thing. So he went on it. He looked great. He went off and he's gaining weight again. Because
yeah, of course. Because then the cravings will come back.
He's not changing his way of life.
So that's the thing. I have 2 issues with Ozempic for weight loss.
There's no substitute for eating and diet. And diet and exercise. No matter what.
Well, the Ozempic doesn't get you healthy. It gets you skinny.
I'm talking about there's no substitute period for dieting correctly. I mean, eating healthy or eating right and working out. You have
because that gets you healthy.
You have no choice.
Ozempic gets you thin, but thin doesn't equal healthy.
Correct.
And so I have 2 issues with Ozempic. One is what we were just saying, like there are definitely going to be side effects to this, that there are already side effects, because not only does it shrink your fat, but it shrinks all your muscle mass, including your heart. They're finding that hearts are shrinking on Ozempic because the heart's a muscle.
Right.
So like all your muscle mass, if you're not compensating it by working out like extra, your muscles are just going to atrophy. So already we're seeing that, and it's been like 2 years. What about 20 years? Like there's just going to be insane side effects. There can't not be. But then the other reason I have a problem with it, like I said, I have no problem with it for the obese people that have no other choice. But otherwise, if you're using Ozempic, to me, and look, whatever, it's not a big deal. I don't really pass that much judgment on people who are using Ozempic for this. But it's a cheat code, and it's not good in the long run for you mentally, not only just for your mental health, but also your physical health.
It's the easy way out.
Yeah, and that's not what...
I agree.
And then also it tricks society as a whole. Because for society as a whole, up until 2 years ago, if you looked at someone and you saw that they were thin,
fit.
you knew that they took care of themselves.
Right.
You knew it. Obviously not emaciated.
Say that you could have children or whatever.
It's like a form of plastic surgery that some people can now do all this stuff to their face, and you're like, wow, they're beautiful. I'll have beautiful children. And then you're like, what the fuck is this beak coming out of my kid?
All right, but there's no guarantee. That's crude. But there's no guarantee you can have good-looking kids if you just...
Of course, but you know what I mean. I don't mean like just... It's another form of like reality isn't real anymore, because you can just take all these things.
Easy way out.
And then it's like, then the people who do... Like you work hard to keep yourself...
It's exhausting.
Fit. And you work hard on that. And now it's like that doesn't... I mean, you do it for yourself, obviously. But like that doesn't get rewarded anymore.
It does to me, but I hear what you're saying.
Like 10 years ago, if there was someone who was really fat and then they lost a lot of weight, everyone in the world was like, wow.
I'm proud of you.
That is incredible. I am so inspired by that. Now it's just like, oh, okay. They just shot themselves up. Like it doesn't matter anymore.
So, or you ever feel like the people that lose weight and then they don't do any muscle or whatever, so it's all that, you touch them in the back of their arm, it's like gross.
Yeah.
But I got to tell you,
that's not healthy.
Listen, I work out a lot, and it's a big commitment. It's exhausting. It's not only say, I just want to maybe the fat person's happier. Who knows? Because I mean that facetiously.
Sometimes when you are on vacation, you don't eat well for a whole week.
I feel like crap.
You feel like crap.
And by the way, if I don't work out every day, I don't feel as good. I'm being honest with you.
I agree.
So I work out, I get up early, and then after that workout, I feel accomplished. I feel good. My endorphins. I don't know. I feel good. If I'm not working out, honestly, it stresses me out. And
that's your body like
craving it now.
Right.
It's become a little bit. It's addictive, but it's a little bit of addictive as well.
Yeah, which is a good addiction.
If you're going to have one, right?
But I feel like the key to working out, and I haven't done this myself, but I feel like the key to working out is to just not just be in the gym working out, like to have an activity that is the workout, because then it's like it's not exhausting. If working out's fun, if you're, if you're really doing an activity, like you're, super into water polo and you're playing water polo for 2 hours because you love it, it's so much fun. And then it's like, oh, I actually just got a sick workout on top of it.
That's true.
That's the best.
You can do tennis and like that.
Yeah, tennis.
But you still, the hard part, you still got to do muscle.
Yeah.
And there's no substitute for weight.
But like back in the day, 200 years ago, there was no such thing as working out. No one worked
But
out.
they were always
because
out.
they lived.
They
people
weren't
were
watching
fit.
TV.
It's because
Right.
people lived their lives and they had to.
They
do
weren't on their
physical
phones
things.
for 6 hours.
Right. It's like if I want to go get food, I have to go like walk the 2 miles to the farm or to the village to get the fucking food, and then I have to schlep back to my house on my back. And so it's like you're working out
Yes.
all the time.
No, but I think it's.
But that's just not the society we live
Right.
in.
I
anymore,
think it's-
obviously.
You got to do cardio and muscular. You got to do both.
Yeah. I went for a really long walk this morning, and then
How great
went
was
to
the
the
weather?
gym after. Oh,
How great was the weather?
Unreal.
Beautiful.
Absolutely unreal.
63, 64 is perfect.
Went for a long walk, and then
Where'd you walk?
around Brickell Key, but then I sat halfway through just in the sun, sat for like 20 minutes and just soaked up the sun, then did another lap, then came home and then went to the gym, and then knocked out all my practice
Perfect.
problems that I started not doing well on.
How is it a nice gym?
Yeah, it's normal.
When do they do in your building?
I have no idea.
All right.
I'll be out of there by then. I've sat down to study.
Because I
this morning.
paid for that.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
No, you didn't. The assessment was taken before.
The owner. I mean, I'm supposed to get it.
Yeah, but you didn't pay for it. You literally didn't.
No, but me, you know what I'm saying?
No,
It's due me. It's part of the purchase.
You're
It's due
owed
me.
it. You're owed it.
Oh, I'm owed it.
But you,
right.
you didn't pay it.
But I paid it. Okay.
Right as I sit down to study, the fire alarm goes off. And it's like the not a drill
You
one.
have to leave.
It's like, this is the not a drill one. So I check outside. No one's opening their door. So I'm like, oh, shit. It's still going off. The fire doors to the elevators have closed.
Then I do stairs.
And I go to
walk
check
down
the,
22 stairs?
I go to check the stairwell.
22 flights?
And but I can hear, I'm like, what is that noise? Shh. I hear that in the stairwell. And then I go to open the stairwell door and I can't open it because there was so much wind on the other side. So it's like, what the fuck is going on? And it must have been like an anti-fire. They must blow wind in the stairwells to make it so that no fire can go in or something.
But how do you get out then?
No, if I pushed my body into the stairwell, I could have gotten in.
I guess
So I was like, shit. But then I was like, fuck, this is a real fire because I've never seen that
okay.
stairwell thing. Then I went back to the apartment because I was like, I need to get, like, this is a real fire. I need to get my wallet. Like, or I'm going to be gone for a while. And I go back in and the fire alarm was off. So I was like, okay, I think I'm fine. And then they sent an email. They were like, that was a fault. They said it did trigger someone's stove caught on fire, but then they put it out.
Wow.
I was like, of course, right as I'm about to study, I'm not going to be able to get any studying done. But
Your stove should have caught on fire.
What?
Your stove should have caught on fire.
Why?
Don't put a claim and get the place redone.
Oh, yeah. And then I could have gotten out of my exam. Okay, so Ozempic, we were talking about that. I do have other stuff like that's not current that I've just like put
Bring
on
it
there.
up. Bring it up. Should we talk about Bubby almost going into the pool?
Sure.
Go ahead.
No, you. It triggers you way more.
I'm over it now, so it's not even worth discussing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Our grandma almost fell in the pool. She
That's
was
good.
going in the pool.
She was
and then
walking around in the pool,
and then
yeah.
someone pulled her back. Yeah,
Got very lucky.
She would have gotten extremely hurt if not.
And no humility.
Dead.
Like she's like not like.
Did you hear what she said about the aide? Her aide pulled her back. She had one foot over the pool, hovering over.
What the fuck?
And the aide pulled her back. And then mom said the other day, she was talking to Bubby, who's her mom, and she was like, Mom, you know that, or Bubby said, what was that all with the pool?
Right.
And mom was like, you almost fell in, but then Michelle pulled you back. And you were like one step over the pool, but then luckily
100%.
Michelle was there and pulled you back. And Bubby goes, well, she should have seen it earlier and pulled me back earlier. Why did she wait till I was?
Unbelievable.
And it's like, oh my
yeah,
God.
unfucking believable.
Be grateful that she just saved your life.
Unbelievable. Wow.
We were talking at the beginning about Trump, like doing things already that are like, he's actually like already being president. So, we talked about it before, and I think about it, I feel like way more than most people think about it. But I feel like it's such a big deal that, remember we talked about BRICS? Brazil, Russia,
Yes,
India,
yes,
China,
yes.
South Africa, and then they were like adding Iran and Saudi, like they were adding all these people. And we were like, those are the bad guys that are all like forming their own alliance. Less than a year ago, 6 months ago, they announced they had their meeting. It was like the same weekend that the G7 meeting was or something, which was like our version. It was like America, Canada, France, Great Britain, Germany. It's like the quote unquote good guys. They were like, we're going to have our own meeting. And so they had it in Russia because Putin can't leave Russia too, because he's
They'll kill
a war criminal.
They'll kill him.
No, he's the International Criminal Court put a warrant out for his arrest, which they also did for Netanyahu, like last week.
Why?
For war crimes. So the International Criminal Court, which like most countries in the world subscribe to, you're like a member state, they said he needs to be on trial for war crimes, so we're issuing a warrant out for his arrest. Israel, as a country, they're a member, but they were like, we don't recognize this, which then it was like they're kicked out. The U.S. is a member, Canada is a member, and Trudeau, right? He said he'll abide by it, which means that if Netanyahu steps foot in a member state that's within the jurisdiction, they're obligated to arrest him and send him to Geneva,
But America
wherever
won't
it is.
do it.
No,
Not with Trump.
especially not with Trump.
Right.
Yeah, but like
By the way,
Netanyahu now isn't going to leave Israel.
Where's Kamala or Biden now? You ever hear anything about them?
Oh no,
Nothing.
well, where's Biden been for a year?
True. Nothing. All right, go on.
And they're leading our country.
Right. Nothing. I mean, you
Oh
literally.
well, they are sending giving
No.
the okay for Ukraine
Right.
to send missiles. Into
literally hear nothing about them. It's shocking.
Russia. I mean, I'd rather not hear stuff.
I know,
about
but
them,
isn't it shocking?
It's worrisome.
It's unbelievable. All right, go ahead.
So Netanyahu has that too, which is like crazy. That technically now he like shouldn't leave Israel,
Okay.
and it's like, when are they going to let that up? You know, he might not ever be able to leave, which is fucked.
I
But
help be able to leave. Go ahead.
Putin hasn't left Russia in like 3 years because the only country he's gone to is North Korea or Belarus because because those countries are like his buddies. Otherwise, someone will. But then it's like also that is so diplomacy. That's just encouraging the war to keep going. Because the only way we stop this war is to talk.
There's no due process there either.
Well, there will be. It's an arrest warrant. So
Yeah,
then
but
he'll
come
be
on.
tried
Yeah,
in
but
court.
come on.
No, but
They
the
may-
issue that I have with it is like, if you want to stop the war, the only way to stop the war is for both sides to sit down and talk. You have to be like, okay, we have to figure this stuff out. Now you're just drawing another line in the sand where you're like, no, now you can't leave your country at all, and none of us can visit you. You can't visit us. So how is the war ever going to get solved now?
Trump.
Yeah, apparently he's been like having talks with Putin from Mar-a-Lago on his phone, like phone conversations. Okay, so BRICS,
I love Trump.
like 6 months ago, at their meeting, declared that their countries will no longer be using the U.S. dollar as like the base currency. You know, it was like that was like the trade currency of trade, and they were going to use, I think, the Chinese yen. Let me see, BRICS currency. Okay, well now I'm getting all of the new ones. I think they were going to use, because it's so I think they were going to use the Chinese yen, and like that was going to be the new standard for trade. With like, these are a lot of countries, right? Let me read out the BRICS countries for you. It's a lot, and they're like all the bad guys. Let's see, member states.
It's almost like a Marvel movie.
Yeah, it's like the good guys and the bad guys.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, Iran, Egypt, Ethiopia, and the UAE, which is Dubai. And then they had a bunch new this year that they just put in. First of all, it's like that's half the world's economy. India and China and Brazil are, I think, the 3 most populated countries in the entire world. So it's, and then like you have Russia. Let's see. I think they added more. 2024 expansion. 6 new countries. Oh, so Argentina pulled out, but it's Algeria, Belarus, Bolivia, Cuba, Indonesia, Kazakhstan, Malaysia, Nigeria, Thailand, Turkey, Uganda, Uzbekistan, and Vietnam.
And what is BRICS' purpose?
Their purpose is to, like, as they say it, to have like a counter. Like, we have the West, you know, we think of the West. It's like we're all very close in culture. We all trade with each other. There's a lot of like inter-diplomacy. We think of France as like a cousin, you know? It's like we know that we'll never go to war against France. They're like, it's just not what it is. This is like them doing it on their side. They're like, if you guys have your club.
But true, why can't they just say we're part of ours?
Because they're like, would we ever join an alliance with China and Russia? No, because we're like, we don't align with you, so we can't say, oh, we're part of you guys. Because
But Brazil, Brazil's been an issue. This is the first time I'm hearing about Brazil and America being at odds.
I don't know if they're necessarily at odds, but they're clearly buddying up to that side of the world over us. Brazil's last president was a big like Trump fan and Maduro, and they pushed him out. And they have this new guy Lula, who's like almost like a communist, I think. So maybe
so
he
it's
aligns
more the
with them.
communistic approach or philosophy.
Yeah, it's almost like
is
Soviet
more
Union
yes.
versus U.S.
Right.
But I mean, it's worrisome because these countries are extremely
And
powerful.
is it North Korea's in there?
No, I don't think so. No.
It's a lot.
These are countries that have expressed interest in joining. This up here says the BRICS members encompass 30% of the world's land surface and 45% of the world's population.
It's a lot.
Which is crazy. South Africa is the largest economy in Africa, whereas Brazil, India, and China are among the world's 10 largest countries by population area and GDP. Okay, so anyways, 6 months ago, they were like, we are leaving behind the US dollar as the international trade thing, and we will only all trade in yen, which is like a huge, not only is it like a huge fuck you to the US, but it's also like a huge problem. Having the US as like the standard trade dollar gives us an insane amount of power. And it like gives us an insane amount of influence.
But we won't do business with these people.
But we need to. Don't do business with China, with India, Brazil, South Africa. These are huge, huge economies. 45% of the world's population. If we don't do any business with China, kids could buy all of our stuff.
Maybe it's about time where America starts becoming its own independent. And listen, I'll give you the analogy. Like, sometimes, all right, here's the analogy. You work for somebody, you don't really love your job, you work for them, making good money. You really should have left years ago, but you still have the age where you can leave and start your own business, but you're not going to do it. But then they fire you, and they make the decision for you. So the first 2-3 years are hard, but then you look back 10 years later, like, best fucking thing ever happened to me.
So
I'm just making an analogy.
But I think it's slightly different because I guess the difference would be you work with that job. You work at that job, and then now you're fired, and you start a rival company, and now they're your rivals, and they're actively going against you, and they're stronger than you. Would you not think, oh, maybe it's better if we all actually work together and kind of form one company?
I'm just making an example.
No, I know, but in this case, if we don't do any business with China at all, it's not like they just stop existing from the world and they're like, oh, we're going to let America be. No, they'll keep doing their thing, and they'll keep saying, we want to not take America down because China doesn't want that, but they'll be like, we want to become the superpower over you. Where if we work together, right? If our economies are intertwined, why would they want? They have no incentive to take us down because they make most of their money from us.
I get it. I don't think, but I also think that we've let things go so far on the non-American made side.
Yeah, there's a middle ground.
Yes, but listen,
but you don't think if all these countries start doing like trading in the yen, that'll make China even more powerful. It's not like it'll just keep things as is. It'll make us less powerful, and it will make them significantly more powerful. It's like no one wants that.
I get it, but if this is what happens, what choice do we have?
Well, it didn't happen because this week Putin said we're actually going to stick to the U.S. dollar because Trump became president.
Oh, so okay, all that talking, you leave me fucking hanging?
Yeah, so,
hey, dick.
Isn't that great though? Because I brought it up because we were saying Trump's already doing stuff in a time when Russia.
But it shows you the respect they have for Trump. It does. It shows because he's a businessman. He obviously does things that we don't even know about that gets things done. That's good news.
It's excellent news. I think it's Trump threatened them with 100% tariff on all goods from all BRICS nations.
He's a beast.
If they didn't keep the U.S. trade dollar, and so they kept it. It's like, and then everyone for a while throughout Trump's candidacy,
okay, that's not a beast though.
Yeah, and everyone was saying, oh, like the tariff thing, this is terrible.
So much money,
and it's like all he has to do is threaten it, and it works.
I heard
he doesn't even have to do it.
I heard in one of the Middle Eastern countries, I think it was Iran, whatever. He said to one of the leaders, "Here's where your family lives. Here's the address. If like meaning, you better fucking stop." Like I've heard I forget exactly what it was, but he's a beast. So when he says do it, but here's the thing. You're dealing with a guy who is smart. Where Biden is just a government employee. It's a difference.
Biden's smart.
Let me finish for a second. But my point is, but Biden did everything for our country, whether they liked them or not, things like that. I get it. But if you tell me if there's going to be two in a meeting,
He doesn't have real world
if
experience.
the two of them are going to be in a meeting, my money 110% will be on Trump to get a deal done.
Well, modern day, yeah. I don't know. Biden 20 years ago, I feel like was quite sharp.
Okay, this guy 20 years ago was even fucking sharper.
Yeah,
He
probably.
was a beast 20 years ago. I'm shocked that the way he's become now is like retarded. So that's great news. That's just the way he is. This guy cares about our country. He really does. It's scary what will happen in 4 years from now. If you know what.
Well, if the next 4 years go like people are hoping they will,
Then we'll be
then
in
I
good
think
shape.
people will say, I like the way this is going.
Correct.
And they'll keep
Correct.
this team in. Whether, it can't be Trump, but they'll keep RFK, Tulsi
Vance.
Gabbard, Vance, Vivek, Elon. Like, they'll keep these people around.
These are all smart people. They're smarter than me.
Oh, they're the best.
They're smart people.
And the fact that, like, we have them, like, Tulsi Gabbard as director of national intelligence.
She was a Dem.
Yeah,
Wasn't
fully.
she? Yeah, full
Up
Dem.
until
So
a
was
year ago.
Kennedy.
Yep.
So was Elon.
Elon.
Yeah.
Not Elon. You made him Israeli. Elon. I think it's great.
But
I'm very excited for all of it.
The best speaker, Vance is brilliant, but the best speaker,
Vivek.
the guy is literally
Yeah.
so well spoken. He never uses or like ever.
No.
Bryce uses like a lot. Okay. That's it.
Unnecessary dig.
No, but it's not a dig. I'm just saying, this
He's not here.
this guy's, he's such a great speaker.
Oh, yeah. And no one dislikes him. Even people on the left. I don't think they have anything bad to say about him. Maybe because he's brown. They can't.
I don't give a fuck about that.
Speaking of brown.
Who cares to see? I'm sorry. There's people. There's a big thing about the Redskins going back to the Redskins.
Well, that'd be great.
See how people are, like you said, it's so
It's going back.
fucked up.
I said this like 2-3 years ago.
Yes, you did.
I
Yes,
said
you
it about
did.
culture, not about politics. But now it's going in
But
politics.
they
too.
want the Washington Redskins name back.
And I called, okay, did I not call, going back to the Ozempic, I called like 2 years ago, 3 years ago on this podcast. I said, the trendy thing now is like curves and thick women and all that, big boobs, big ass, all that stuff. And I said, that is on its way out. And skinny 90s cocaine girl thin type is
They
coming
still
back
need
in.
boobs.
No, that is back in.
Okay.
Especially because all the fat celebrities now are on Ozempic. They're all skinny as fuck.
But just
Adele, extremely
Wait.
skinny. Meghan Trainor,
but
extremely
just
skinny.
ask me because I never
No, but
liked
I
that.
called that.
I know, but I
I didn't say I was liking
No,
it or not.
but-
I said that was trendy and now it's not.
and it shows you that all
called.
people that are heavy, they don't want to be heavy.
No.
They're all
and they were
heavyweight.
saying they all would. And we all for years, by the way, to have like we all
Is
meeting
Kelly Clarkson thin?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
She's not like thin. To my eyes, she just like doesn't really take care of herself, but she's not fat.
But I always said it. None of them want to be heavy.
No, and
None of them.
we would say years ago, I bet if you gave any of those plus size models or fat people, plus size positivity people, if you gave them a pill that would get them skinny tomorrow, they'll all take it.
Right? I say no one wakes up. Yes, I want to be heavy.
Exactly. And now that there is it's not a
Yep.
pill, it's a
It's
needle.
a wonder drug. Yeah,
But now that there is one, they're all skinny.
yep, they're all.
And they're all getting skinny.
There's not a single person I know. It's the same. Remember we used to do the Zooms, and I said, and all the women like, "Why are you shaming?" I go, "How many of you want to fuck a fat guy?" And not one of the girls raised their hand. Remember on the Zoom?
About shaming fat people?
Years ago, because I always talk about the obesity, like we don't need to play into you, make you feel good about yourself.
Yeah.
And then remember we used to Zoom with our Patreon members, the top tier, and like, why do you sit there and shame this and whatever heavy? I go, name one of. I said, raise your hand, any one of you girls right now that you tell me that you think I'm shaming that would fuck a fat guy. Not one of them raised their hand. I go, you're a hypocrite. Nobody wants to be heavy.
I don't know if that's a hypocrite.
Wrong, okay,
but it's-
wrong. But my point is, nobody says
No.
I want to be heavy.
And the proof is in the pudding. It's happening right now. Like the
But-
reality of it.
But even that's true. But even when I'm set, I would say, I don't need to make you feel good about yourself. If you're happy and heavy, doesn't matter what I fucking think. Then you be happy, healthy. But I have to change my life and my manners and my ways to make you feel good about being heavy. If you're unhappy with being fucking heavy, and then get fucking thin,
yeah.
right?
Yeah. I get healthy too.
Healthy.
So then-
Healthy is the main thing.
Yeah. But I am like, we've said for years, the pendulum's going to swing. It's
'Cause it's
swung too
common
far.
sense.
But it's not only starting to swing back, like it's swung back, I feel like. And we talked about this right after Trump won. Like you could just feel it in the air, but it really is like
Bill Maher,
Yeah.
who I used to not like. I like listening to his openings.
well, because he's just very logical.
It's just common sense.
Yeah.
It's common sense.
You can't not be.
They've thrown out the past 4 or 5 years common sense.
Fully.
It
Fully.
makes-
There's just no
it's
logic in
absurd.
any of the beliefs
It's absurd.
and that's why they lost so badly. Because even people who were like on their side, at a certain point, it's just like, okay, I don't like. I'm not going to argue
With stupidity.
Yeah, it's like I'm not going to argue that men can get pregnant. I'm just not going to. It's not.
Or
I'm not
play
going to go
sports.
there.
I've never met a single person that says a man should play women's sports. I never spoken to anyone that it says that they should. Even diehard fucking liberals.
Right, exactly. It's like you lost them, but it's good.
It's great.
But then my worry is like, where does that that party is going to have to cull like half of their people, right? Like they're going to really have to.
They're gonna have to change
have
some
a
serious shit.
reckoning
Yes.
because
And they're not
I
stupid.
want the Democrat Party to be a part of this country because we need multiple parties. We need multiple ideas that are working with each other because the Democrats have a lot of good ideas and a lot of bad ideas. The Republicans have a lot of good ideas, a lot of bad ideas.
And they represent the people well, too, in many ways, but not so crazy.
And like you need the balance of conservative-minded people being like, we don't want to change anything. We're digging our heels in. Actually, let me start it the other way. You need the balance of very progressive people being like, we want to change and progress and make the world better and innovate and do all these new things, right? But you can't live in a society that's just run that way because then everything is new every day. You don't have anything holding you down. But then, so you need the conservative people to be like, no, we want to keep some things how it is. And you need that tug of war so that the middle ground is the world we live in. But right now, right, like there's no Democrat on the other side of that tug of war. Like no one's listening.
Well,
to that.
but
we need that.
Right, but I think that you also need the Democratic side. I'm going to say the normal Democratic side because they represent the people in certain ways, and there should be a wide range of diverse
Ideas,
beliefs, and ideas,
a marketplace of ideas
to represent the general public as a whole. The problem is they've gone so far. They're not even like Democrats. They're fucking just crazy.
Right. That's why they need to change drastically.
But sincerely change, not just for political.
I don't know if any of the parties are sincere.
But I will tell you, when I was younger and maybe wasn't involved, maybe wasn't ignorant or looking with rose-colored glasses, it wasn't. And I know social media contributed to this as well.
And just the media in general.
The media in general, because we just had local news. It wasn't this national or international news. It's gone so far where if a Democrat won, you weren't devastated. Or if a Republican won, you weren't devastated.
I know, but on their side, being genuine, I don't think they were even back then. Like Clinton as a Democratic president, I don't think he was genuinely
I'm
Democrat.
talking prior to Clinton. I'm talking when I was in high school. Things were a little bit different.
I think probably since before World War II is the only last time it was genuine.
But if they get the Democrats that are proper, listen, this might weed out a lot of fucking shit with Trump and his team. Weed out a lot of bad people, both Democrat and Republican side. A lot of professional people that are just professional politicians.
Well, that's what Elon and Vivek are trying to do. They're trying to go in and really streamline
and clean up the unnecessary spending and everything. I mean, it's huge.
But they just go. I don't know. I feel like a lot of the Democratic Party is captured. They feel like they always need to be on this trans woke ideology.
Yeah, but how about having independent thought? What's wrong with being in the party?
We talked about that right after
just have independent thought.
Right after the election. Remember, there were those couple Democratic congressmen that won that were like, yes, I won. But the reason why our party lost is because you all are afraid that we
maybe
can't
more
say.
People speak up.
I think they will. And they need to change. And I hope they do. I mean, the fact that they've changed, that the Democratic Party is for foreign wars, for protecting big pharma, right?
That's crazy, though.
Those are so Republican things. Trying to do big business,
crazy
big government. It's that's.
I want to show you.
They're anti-working class. They're pro-elite, billionaire. It's totally flipped.
I want to send. How do I send this to you so you can play this?
Just text it to me.
Can you take it and just text it to you? I'm going to do that and just play this. Uncle Bran sent it to me. It's very interesting.
Oh, is this about her saying? I was just about to bring this up. Is this about her talking about deporting migrants?
Yeah.
I was just.
But
about
can
to
you
bring
play
that
it?
up. Yeah.
Did you just send it to you?
Yeah. Yeah. So this video is I mean, it's just insane.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
But this video is more MAGA than Trump is.
No, you would think she was right in his cabinet.
No, Trump wouldn't even say these things.
You're right.
Because she
Speak
says
English.
speak English.
Yes.
Trump wouldn't say that.
You're right.
If Trump said any of these,
But shows you how full of shit they are, Bronson. They're
and
so
how they.
full of shit.
But that's
They
why I was saying I
change
don't
and
think the
flip.
changing is
You're
genuine.
right. The sincerity is not
Because
there.
they'll just change for how they can get votes.
Correct.
And for the last 10 years, the way they've gotten votes is by saying equality for all.
Right, DEI.
Yeah, and that's just not working anymore.
We plug it in. Oh, okay.
It'll connect.
Okay. This is Hillary Clinton talking, okay? Wait. Okay. Right.
And it should be connected. It says it is.
It's not working? Okay, 1 minute. This is her speaking when was she running at this point?
Yeah, it was 2008.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is her running for office. And it's awesome.
Well, it's just shocking how much
They're full
things
of
have
shit.
changed.
Yep, here we go. Why is it not
I
working,
don't
Brady?
know. What the hell? Okay, so it is working.
The shadows if they've
Here
committed
we
a
go.
Hold on.
So I think we got to have tough conditions. Tell people to come out of the
Hillary
shadows.
Clinton.
If they've committed a crime, deport them. No questions asked. They're gone. If they've been working and are law-abiding, we should say, here are the conditions for you staying. You have to pay a stiff fine because you came here illegally.
Even that. It's like
you
Trump's
have
not
to
saying
pay
that.
back taxes.
Trump's not saying
and
that.
you have to try
Nope.
to learn English. And you have to wait in line.
I tend to agree with
So,
her.
I-
Wait. That was
That was it.
that.
No,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think that's great. But how crazy how much things have changed.
But this-
that wasn't even 20 years ago.
No.
That was 14 years ago. No, 8, 6. I don't know.
8.
It's just crazy how drastic. Because now, if someone, first of all, it's like no one will ever.
16.
Can we just play that for her? Can some
Right.
It'll never get. She'll never be.
Yeah, you'll
she'll
ne-
never have to apologize for it. She'll never be questioned about why did you change your mind on this? What happened? She'll never. That'll never happen.
And by the way, so here's the thing. If she was questioned on it, she would give such a bullshit answer rather than just saying that was me. She could say I changed my mind. She could say that and be sincere
She
about
never
it.
would be.
She never would. That's my point. So that's why it's at least like J.D. Vance, when you talk about said, they asked him about, weren't you against Trump? He said, I changed my, as I got to know him more and his ideas and his policies. I liked him. But that's an honest answer.
Yeah.
I've met people that I didn't like, not many. I mean, a lot of people I don't like.
I was just going to say, what do you mean?
But my point is that I ended up liking afterwards. I got to know them.
Right.
It just happens. There's nothing wrong with that.
Well,
but that's honest.
Not only is it honest, I think that's being a good person. If you're able to,
Thank you, Bronny.
but just in general, like if you're an ignorant, stupid person, if you only or stick to the one thing that you've thought and don't let any information change your mind
the
about
liberals
it. Well, a lot of people.
No, but yes.
If I showed Uncle Brant a certain thing about Trump or something that was like completely, or if he said something and I was like, that's not true and I knew it wasn't, and I showed it to him, he wouldn't change his mind. He just wouldn't. He would just ignore that information. Like if I showed a Hillary supporter this video and they just wouldn't let it go into their brain.
You're right.
It would just go in one ear and out the other. They wouldn't change
You're
their
right.
mind. I think changing your mind is a good thing.
I agree.
Changing your mind
Growing.
to new information, not
Growing.
just changing your mind because
Right, but to
of
grow and learn.
incentives.
And even if you don't change your mind, but you understand what the person is saying, it helps you grow. That's still a good thing.
When I was a kid, I thought
I thought you were going to be an astronaut.
well, that's not changing your mind to information, but like I thought dinosaurs were real, and then you learned they're not. Or I thought,
Dinosaurs are real.
well, are alive. I mean,
Okay.
not real because they are real, right?
Well,
You're
I sound
right.
like you, so literal, but I know what you meant.
Or it's like you learn new information and you change your ideas.
You grow.
That's called being a well-adjusted, not ignorant
Growth.
person.
It's growth.
But
Mine's a little more positive way of saying it. It's growth.
well, it's Yeah.
ignorance
sure,
a negative connotation.
But you're ignorant if you
We
don't
like-
let information change your mind.
Correct, but we don't like to let you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, sure.
Wow, don't dismiss me. Yeah, sure.
Sure,
Okay,
sure.
okay, okay. Sure.
But there is also a difference between changing your mind and like lying. You know, like if you were saying one thing back then and you're saying a different thing now, just because you were lying for one of them,
Yes,
That's not changing your
true.
mind.
That's true.
right? But
I believe she believed that.
Oh no, she just believed that this would get her votes.
Okay, I believe 100% Hillary Clinton.
I don't think Hillary Clinton believes anything.
No, but I believe Hillary Clinton doesn't want all these people here
True.
illegally because
True.
she's wealthy, wants
But
protection.
she definitely doesn't want that.
Okay,
But
so-
I think whenever she's talking on a stage, it's never her own beliefs. It's just what she calculates.
I get
will
it.
work best. For
But
her.
I believe she believes every
Probably
her
to
ideology.
speak English for sure.
The ideology of that, I believe she believes all that shit.
Like Tim Waltz with all of his lies.
What a fucking retard. Where's he been, by the way?
Well, he should go nowhere. He wasn't anywhere before, right? Like no one had ever heard of him. He was random,
Right.
and he should go back to being random because he's a liar.
Right.
He lied about being the head coach of his.
Football. And also in the military.
He lied about being in the
But why
military.
do that?
He
What
lied
about-
about being in Tiananmen Square.
Wait, what about the China
Just
thing?
like how do you lie like
But
that?
and why?
Well, he's got it. He's just a compulsive liar.
So what about that fucking stupid that gay Spanish guy that lied? He said he was in the
Oh yeah. What's
and
his
he asked him
name?
to resign and he
Yeah,
didn't.
he's not in a Congress anymore.
Okay.
Fuck. What's his name?
Did he
I love
say-
that guy. I
wait,
love that guy.
What the fuck?
But he at least would like just admit. He'd be like, yeah, that's a lie.
What was his lie again? That he was in.
He lied about
Was it
going to Harvard. He
Ivy
lied
League or
about.
something, yeah.
There were so many.
Isn't
there were too
that
many to count.
crazy?
Shit. What's his name, Dad? It's
I
not
don't
Marco
know.
Rubio, but it's something
No.
like that. Obviously, it's not Marco Rubio,
Rubio's the
Secretary of State.
That's pretty cool. So
Yeah.
that's going places.
That's arguably the second most powerful
Pretty impressive.
position in government. Fuck, what's
I
his name?
I like our Speaker of the House too. What's his name?
Nah, he's a bitch.
No, I like him. He's smart.
No, he's a pushover.
Is
I
he?
was just listening to Glenn Greenwald's podcast.
We got to go in 4 minutes. Sorry.
Yeah, and basically he went on Glenn Greenwald is a journalist and like one of the last like actual true journalists. He uncovered the Snowden. He like reported on the Snowden.
Okay.
All that stuff. Like that was his story that dropped. He has a podcast, and he was just saying that a couple of years ago. Oh no, actually it was on Tucker's podcast. Glenn was on Tucker's podcast, and they were talking about Mike Johnson. Right, that's his name. Yeah, the Speaker of the House. And Tucker was like, I don't really know too much about him. And Glenn said 2 years ago, before he was Speaker, he went on Glenn's show, and his main thing was about repealing some government surveillance act. It wasn't the Patriot Act, but it was like and that's why he wanted to go on Glenn's show, because Glenn was like, notoriously
following,
famous
right.
for reporting against government spying on people. And so like he was so passionate about, that's why he ran to get into Congress, was to try to repeal this bill so that the government is not spying on Americans. 7 days after, or it was like 7 days after he became Speaker of the House, not only did he vote for the bill, he voted against repealing it, but he then pushed forward. He was like, as Speaker, he was making sure that there were the right amount of votes as Speaker to put in a new bill that had even stronger government surveillance practices. So Glenn was like, I don't know what happened. He said, I have no idea. He won't speak to me since. But a year ago, that was the only thing he cared about. He was so passionate about it. I could tell. I was sitting eye to eye. We were sitting in the same room, and I was like, this guy gets it.
Push up. Okay.
And then within 1 week of him being in power,
He flipped.
not only flipped, but like went so far. So it's like, I don't trust the guy. After
All right.
hearing
So
that, don't trust
two
him
quick
at
things
all.
before we go, because we got to get going.
That's a really bad one. Government surveillance.
All right, I hear you. Okay, not happy with Trump's original choice for U.S. Attorney General.
Yeah, Gates.
Not happy about that, but thank God that's not okay. Number one. Number two is Pelosi. Where the fuck is she?
I think she's running for re-election,
She won't win. Okay, three.
which will be in 2 years.
Three.
guys.
I bet Michael Cohen, that fucking douchebag, that wishes he stuck and supported fucking Trump.
He'd be the attorney general now, probably.
Okay. And by the way, if he was the attorney general, I would be very concerned because he's so fucking incompetent.
Yeah.
Okay. So isn't that ironic? The choice he fucking make.
Yeah.
I know him.
Now he goes live on TikTok.
I know. It's unbelievable. I love Trump. I support Trump. I still can't even comprehend in my fucking mind that that's who he chose. Ronnie, I'm telling you, I know him. It's unbelievable. And you see him. You sort of know him now. Look, you don't. He's like a douche.
Like bumbling.
He's a douchebag.
Yeah.
All right, I love you. We got to get going, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving again. You're joking, right?
Well, I'm trying to be hopeful. I'm trying to be optimistic about that.
Well, I guess you're too young to be a little pessimistic like me.
The fucking things I see out there, people are stupid.